I go through, I deal with depression, anxiety. I've attempted to take my life before. And, you know, my kids know very much about my struggles. And a lot of people think that a lot of men think that they have to hide these things from their children. But I always say it, 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 it definitely takes more strength to be vulnerable and transparent, especially in front of your kids, you know, than it does to hide it, you know. So definitely. And it makes a huge difference to them. Like my kids connect with me much better because they know I'm a human being. I can be transparent. I can be vulnerable, you know, and I can be down and I can bounce back and get back up. That's a life lesson, you know.
And here we go. You're listening to the Kings Can Move On podcast with your hosts, Jason Stewart and Frank Rainey.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kings Can Move On podcast. Let me stop playing. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kings Can Move On podcast. You got your big dog, Big Frank the Tank in the house, a.k.a. Big Reno. What's happening?
Big dog in the house. And it's your boy Lil J, a.k.a. Wood. Welcome, everybody, to the podcast tonight. We got a special episode. Actually, I have a young man that I actually found on Facebook. He has a Facebook group, Black Fathers and Company. I started following him. He also has a foundation we're going to get into, Mr. Matt Prestbury. Welcome to the show, sir.
Peace. Thank you, brothers, for having me on.
Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate you.
Yes,
we appreciate
you being here. And I just wanted to say really quickly, this time is really appropriate. This date and the time being 7 Central. I had a very good friend of mine who is still, I will say, is a father who passed away several years ago, long before his time. And 7, you know, in his life and culture, 7 is the God number, and you know it represents completion and all of that stuff. So it's really means a lot to me. It's significant to be here on 7/7. So I thank you, brothers, for having me.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thanks for saying that. Like that angel number. And actually, when you first hopped on, before we hit record, I saw you have a crystal around your neck. What you got on? What kind of crystal you got right there?
Tiger's eye.
Tiger's eye. That's it.
Yeah,
that protection.
Tiger's eye. To ward off them evil spirits and backstabbing women I used to work with.
Right. Speaking of evil spirits, let me light my sage and get that started.
Hey,
I'm gonna have to give you something here pretty soon because all these I don't have nothing protection.
Oh man,
need to go get my beads on. I got some beads back there somewhere.
Yes, sir.
But no, man. Again, thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
I think what you're doing right in line with what we want to talk about, what we've been talking about. You know, talking about fatherhood, talking about just men being men, and things that we go through as men, especially black men. So very appropriate to have you on the show. We appreciate you being here, brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So like I was saying, I found your Facebook group, Black Fathers and Company, right?
So I'm just going to stop you for a second. So we have multiple groups. Black Fathers and Company is an open group, and that is anyone can join, and it's of course to honor, celebrate the Black fathers that we know or that we are ourselves, but women are able to join and non-Black people, but it's of course for people to see and celebrate us as Black men, as us doing our thing. The private group is simply Black fathers. So for any Black man out there who wants to join that, and everybody can join both. I encourage people, well, I won't say everybody, all men can join both. Of course, women can't join the private group, but men I encourage to join both, because there are a lot of moms that I've come to know who their children don't have fathers in their lives. So we want them to be able to see these positive examples of Black men. So that's why we have that separate group where women can join, anybody can join, so that everybody can get those images and the world really can see. Because what I started this out, the whole reason in creating the group. And initially the main group was a public group, and we actually even had women in it. And what it was to really have a platform through which we could represent for ourselves and not worry about what mainstream media was saying about us. We had the opportunity to show pictures of ourselves with our kids, to have videos, to type posts, and all this kind of stuff to tell the world who we are. So they could still listen to Fox News if they want and believe we're all deadbeats and believe this and that, but we're still sitting up here and we're showing an example. If they want to deny what is the truth, then that's on them, but we put it out there, because so often people really get one slice of things. So instead of complaining about how they think about things, they're not going to unlearn the things they've already learned, but they can learn additional things and have a different perspective. So that's what we about.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to get in that private group too then, cause
for sure, because that's where it really
goes down. Huh?
Yeah, for men, it's a great place to be. And I tell everybody, like I said, please, I encourage men to join Black Fathers and Company as well, because it's a lot of people out there who want to see those images that they can't join the private group, so they don't see them in there. So you can see them in Black Fathers and Company. But in terms of the real hardcore, us being men and confiding in each other and things that we go through and being there to support one another and all of that, men are super transparent, because we've created, it's the buzz phrase now, the safe space. But to me, it truly is, because that's the culture that we keep. We let everybody know we lead with respect, and we don't care. You can disagree to the utmost. We had a disagreement yesterday, just in the chat. We have, an admin chat, and something happened, and we disagreed vehemently, but we kept it respectful and we kept it classy. And that's the thing that I tell everybody. I don't care what you think per se. I just care how you say it, and that you are respectful to people when you do it. So if you're a Black man and you're not in that group, please jump in. We had a brother, oh man, this touched my heart so much. We have a questionnaire that we want everybody to fill out when they request to join. And one of the questions is, what do you hope to gain and or give by joining this group? And the young brother said, I'm a Black son, and I want to get a glimpse of what my future is going to be like when I become a father.
Oh, wow.
So, and that was like, that's exactly what I said. I said, this is why I do this, because everybody says there's no manual, there's no blueprint. And I say, you know what, you're right. But we stand every day as living examples. Like, we're the closest damn thing to a blueprint you're going to get. You join this group and you get to see everybody's experiences, and it's not one-sided. A lot of times, if you're reading a manual or something, somebody's written a book and says, this is how you do this, then it's only coming from their perspective, and you get that one side. But in a group of 96,000 people, you get all kinds of perspectives, and some might work for you, some might not. You really got to pick and choose and try things and fail maybe sometimes and all of that. But you get all of these different kinds of sides of things. And even if you're not a father yet, you just get to watch and do what 99% of the time we never do, is learn how to be fathers before we become fathers.
Yeah.
You feel me? I'm going to say that one more time. We learn how to become fathers before we become fathers. The vast majority of us, we learn on the job. We get on the job training. She comes and she says, I'm pregnant. And you say, well, it's time to do what I got to do. And you get on the job training. But we give you orientation, and we give you the training before you start working. So you can come in there and see what it's like. And that's, I think that's hugely important to our young folks, particularly because so many of them, if you become a father at a young age, you got the double whammy. Because even in my mid-20s, I was still winging it to a large degree. I couldn't even imagine if I was 17 years old and I became a father and I had that responsibility on me at that age. So to have some understanding, at least, of like, okay, this is what I'm possibly going to have to deal with. It might go well. It might be gravy. She might be the best baby mama ever invented. Or she might be, can I use language, colorful language?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. She might be batshit crazy, and I might have to go through the ringer for the next 18 years of my life or more. Actually, it's more than 18 years, I know. So, that's the kind of thing that we really don't understand oftentimes until we get in those situations, until she take that test and pop up and she talking about I'm pregnant. You know what I mean? You get all of that stuff in advance. So I think that's going to help really in generations to come when young men already have an understanding of what they're getting themselves involved in.
So, Matt, what made you ask? I'm sorry, Reno. Let me jump.
Go ahead, bro.
What's your current situation? You have children? You married? You're not married? What's the
See,
story?
me and Jay on the same page because I was just about to ask. That's when you got in two brothers that's in sync like that.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
I can dig it. I love it. So I am a father of four. I was previously married. My first wife and I had two children together. Um, didn't work out 4 years, and she came home one night and said, "This ain't working. You got to go." And I said, "I'm coming back tomorrow for my kids, and I'm never not gonna be in their lives." And I did that the very next day. I went to the house. I picked up our two sons, and they've been with me from then until they graduated high school and went to college. And
How old
not
were they at the time?
at the time they were 3 and 1.
Okay.
Yep.
You
So
have
And
you for real took
oh,
right.
absolutely. Yeah. They were very young. They're 17 months apart. So the 1-year-old was on the verge of turning 2, and his brother was already 3. And so I took them and went to my mom's house. Shout out to mom for helping me. I don't like to, people talk about, you were a single father. Well, of course, at the time I was divorced, I was separated at least until the divorce happened. So in that extent, but I wasn't doing it alone. And I want to shout out, the fathers who are really out there, who are real true single fathers, who are handling business all on their own and doing the thing. That wasn't my situation. My mother helped me out a lot, but I was still in a situation where my kid's biological mom wasn't playing any part whatsoever at some
Really?
point. Yeah, she initially we had agreed that she would get them on the weekends, and that happened a couple times, and then you call, no answer, what's going on, and then it's just like, all right, this is how you want it to be, so I'm gonna push forward and I'm gonna do what I have to do for my kids. And at our divorce hearing, she didn't even show up. I was granted custody off the rip because she didn't even come. So yep.
Did you ever find out why or what the deal was?
I don't know for sure, but to my understanding, she just basically had no interest really in being a mother. My sons have a sister. I don't like the term half. She's not biologically mine, but she's their sister.
Right.
And even with her, she wasn't really raising her. Her parents, my kids' grandparents, were really raising my son's sister. So I just felt like, for whatever it was, I don't know. People ask me all the time, "Was she on drugs? What was it?" And honestly, I don't know, and I'm not gonna assume. I'm not gonna speculate. I'm not trying to do her dirty or nothing like that. It just is what it is. I speak facts. She just stepped out the picture, and I just feel like she wasn't ready to be a mom. And even later on, as my middle son was getting, pretty rebellious, and you could see certain things. He was disrespecting his mom, who was my current wife, who has really basically been the only mother he's known. We were like, well, you probably want to spend more time with your biological mom. And he was saying, yeah, but even at the time, it was kind of like she was being more of a friend sort of than a mom, even at that point, as he had gotten older. So it's like, you just see what it is. And that's what it's been. And fortunately, by the grace of God, I met my current wife not very long after, and we then had two children together. So I'm a father of 4, got a 22-year-old, 21-year-old, 17 and 15, who will be 16 next month. That's my baby girl. And after my girl came, I said, "Doc, cut me, shorty. I'm done. I'm done."
Yeah. Same way, bro. Same way.
Yes, sir. That was it.
That's
what's
what's up.
I commend you for even doing that, dude, because a lot of men like you aren't publicized. It's always, if you I don't watch the news, but if you watch the news, or if you read the news, you're gonna see the other side of a man, especially a black man. They're gonna show the criminal aspect of black man, or the deadbeat aspect of the black man.
Yeah, because that's the
absolutely, and that really was very much my motivation to start the Black Fathers group in the first place. It was really a way, like my philosophy that I live by is that you can bitch or you can build. But I'm not sitting around, and sometimes you can both do both. You can bitch and build, but I'm never going to just sit around and bitch, because that's not getting nothing done. And of
Yeah.
course, I'm sure people are hip, they understand what I'm saying. But for anybody who doesn't, you can sit around and complain about what's not, or you can make it what you want it to be. And that's the way I look at things. I made it the way I wanted it to be. I had the opportunity, instead of just crying about what the media is not doing. Yeah, it's messed up. But what is me sitting around, banging my head against the wall gonna do? Nothing. So I created a group, and now we got 96,000 brothers who are standing up and saying we are dedicated to our children. So you got proof. And regardless of what anybody else thinks about us, outside of that, if nobody ever saw Black fathers and nobody ever really gave a shit outside of the group, that group is everything that we need. And it took me a while to really understand how powerful that group is to people, but it means a lot. Like, people tell me all the time, like, this group changed my life. This is the only reason I'm on Facebook. This is the best group on Facebook. It is that serious for brothers. And honestly, like I said, I didn't realize, and I don't just say that to for humility's sake or nothing, because humility is overrated in my book. So I don't say it, just for the sake of sounding humble or anything like that. But I honestly did not realize the impact it was having on people until people really started giving me that feedback. And I'm like, you know what? I done really did some serious shit here. I done created something that's pretty damn special.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, it is.
What's up.
If you're enjoying this podcast, don't forget to subscribe and like us on YouTube, and rate and follow us on your favorite podcast platform. It is. And you said the group has 96,000 members. So is that group in conjunction with your actual foundation? Because you have a foundation, right? Black Fathers Foundation.
Yes. So it is and it isn't. Like, it was the impetus came from the group to start the foundation, because, like I said, at the time, I didn't really realize just how impactful this group was. And I felt like I needed more, honestly. And that was much of the motivation behind starting the foundation. Was like, I felt like I wasn't making enough of a difference, and people were giving me credit. I was on shows and meeting Zuckerberg and everything. And I'm like, well, I mean, I just got a Facebook group. I'm not really doing anything that special. Anybody can start a Facebook group. That's all I did. But so I was like, I really want to have a brick and mortar, a building, and call it the foundation, and people can come in and get services and all that. And then I could really feel, that I'm making an impact. So we started that, and we do definitely service members of the group to a large extent. People come to us mostly because they're already members of the group and they need assistance and stuff like that. So that's how people connect with us. But people also connect who aren't in the group at all. They've now heard of the foundation. They've seen the website. They've seen things that we've done, and they reach out to us as well. So it's not limited to the group, but it's definitely the group is at the heart of everything. What I think I want us, really honestly, I want and desire for us to be mostly self-sustaining, right? Just for the idea of even just to show that we can do it as Black people. Like, I don't need to beg the white man for money. You know what I'm saying? We got 96,000 people. We should be able to have cooperative economics, you know what I mean? And collective works and all of the Kwanzaa principles, within us. And we should be living that every day. And that's what it's about. For me, the things that we do through the foundation is really a funnel through. So we have people, we collect donations, and then people come to us in their need, and we pass the money to those in need. And I think for 99% of that, I would love to see us being self-sustained. Anything outside of that, is icing on the cake. I'm not going to say I'm turning down money, because that's what some people say, like, don't take the white man's money. And I'm like, well, what you got for me? And then
that money green. Ain't that money green too?
You did. Okay. It sure is. And I'm going to take it. But the thing I always tell people, sometimes money costs too much. I ain't never going to sell my soul. That's the thing about it. Now, I take it from wherever and whomever, as long as I can do what I feel like I should be doing with it, and I can maintain my integrity. If I ever had to sell my integrity, you can keep that damn money. But outside of that, if you're going to let me do my thing, that's fine. Walmart, I don't love you as a company, but I'm going to take your money. Wells Fargo, I don't love you as a bank at all, but I'm going to take your money,
Right.
But
what are some things that you normally do with the funds that you get?
So primarily what we have been doing ongoing is purchasing gift cards for fathers as they come to us in need. We'll get gas gift cards, food gift cards, and then other monetary support. We also do physical. If I know people in the area I will work to connect them with the person in need wherever they are. We've gone to people's houses to deliver food. My good friend Troy Knowles is in Dallas. He connected with a father in need in Dallas and helped him get his housing situation sorted out. Got him boots. He just had gotten a new job, so he got him some boots that he could work in, food, and helped him out with his son and things like that. So all of those sorts of things, we work to really try to just stand in the gap, really, and keep that connection. So what I say, I have an ad out right now that I've sponsored for the foundation. And what I say in it pretty much is that we want to work to help to keep any father from feeling like a failure because he just doesn't have the means to give his kids what they want and deserve, you know, and really what they need. So oftentimes we understand the reality of it. Even if we're not in dire straits, it could just be something like, you know, your kid want a pony and you just can't do it. And you know, as a father, you feel like shit, like, my daughter, all she wants in the world is a pony. I wish I could give her this damn pony, right? So imagine how it feels. And some people don't have to imagine. Some people know full well how it feels when it's like, all my daughter wants is a decent meal tonight, you know, and you can't do that. All my daughter wants is to be able to go be in this play in school, and I just don't have the money to buy her a dress to be in it, or things like that. So any of those sorts of things, we really want to be able to help. We're working to develop different funds as well. Right now, what we call our emergency fund is really open in terms of definitely emergent needs. You can't get to work. You don't have gas to put in your car. You don't have food to put in your fridge. Your bills, you know, they're getting ready to cut you off, things like that, you know. But we also want to get to the point where it's not necessarily an urgent need like that, but it's really a luxury, because people deserve that too. Just because you don't make a certain income doesn't mean your children shouldn't be able to enjoy certain things in life. So we really want to be able to give people those things. I was just on a post earlier today, and someone was talking about why, like, some of the deterrents or some of the barriers in terms of our young Black boys playing baseball like they used to. And somebody mentioned the cost of travel baseball.
Yeah, travel
right?
baseball, the equipment,
Yeah,
all that stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, these are some of the types of things that we want to be able to do. If there's a father and, you know, his son wants to play travel baseball or whatever it is, his daughter wants to play softball or whatever, and they just don't have the funds to be able to put them in there. Because I know how it is. I know. Ask me, well, do you have any scholarships? Is there any way? Can I make a half a payment? Can I put something on it? You know, I understand the struggle firsthand. So I really want us as a foundation to be able to support fathers in those situations as well. If it's something that's not like dire straits, but it's something you really want your kid to have.
How do you vet them?
So far it's really been, it's funny you say that, because we were on a conversation earlier with someone I just came in contact with. She actually found us, and she runs a group that's strictly for parents in Cobb County here in Georgia. And she really gave us some great ideas, because for me, I'll be honest, I think this is the right term, a bleeding heart. And I'm like, I'm too, I know I'm too trusting. Like, men come to me and they're like, listen, this is my situation. I'm like, cut the check. You know what I'm saying? Right, so I gotta do better on that part. Because for me, to an extent, I'm like, on the one hand, I'm like, you know, if you do me dirty, once I give it to you, that's between you and the creator. You know, what you do with it. And you got to face his judgment, right? But at the same time, I also have to look at it like, if you're scamming me, you're taking away an opportunity where I could have really helped somebody. Yeah. So we're definitely working to get better at the process. I do, you know, look through Facebook. At least I want to know. I feel like you're being honest, that you actually have a child, and, you know, and things like that. Yeah. But and you know, and we have a Google form. We want
your child ain't your Cocker Spaniel or something like that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But the lady from the Cobb group, she was like, she really digs down into it. She's like, first thing I tell them is send me a driver's license. And then I'm like, send me a pay stub, and you know, and all of these things. And it makes sense. And for me, you know, I think about it like, God, I don't want to do that to people and put them through all that. But it just makes sense. And especially when you think about it in terms of if I give you $200 and you go piss it away, you know, and the next man comes and he's like, I'm getting ready to get put out. Yeah. I need $100, and I just gave this man $200 that he went and, party that KOD or some shit with. You know what I mean? It's just not conducive to what we're trying to do. So we really have to clamp down and make sure that when people do get assistance from us, and the other thing is that I work really hard to make sure, like, where we can, we give gift cards, and we're going to get into the process, like for bills and stuff, where we'll be paying directly and not sending money to people and things like that.
That's
So
smart, because I was gonna say you give him cash, and that man
yeah,
going to KOD, that may be a
yeah.
need for him. He may need to go see some ass.
And
That was a need.
listen. I'll not give you pushback on that at all, because I know that I had a conversation with somebody not too long ago about that, and we were saying, friend of mine who runs Accept, we're partnering with her. Let me just throw this out there. We're partnering with her organization Accept and the United Negro College Fund, who's going to manage the fund, and we're going to have a fund that's strictly for Black men who are fathers and who are attending HBCUs and who have needs come up, like if it's a bill pop up out of nowhere and you didn't know, and they talking about, oh, we can put you out of school, things of that nature. We want to be able to help, because that's important. We understand, especially from an economic aspect, what it means. It may not mean as much as it used to have a bachelor's degree or whatever, but we still want people, for the sake of the economics of it, to be able to provide for their family, and just the feeling good about themselves and being able to accomplish it. Because like I said, a lot of it goes back to just how we feel as fathers. It makes a difference when we feel successful. Just life period, as human beings. When we feel successful, we feel really good about ourselves. But when we feel like we're not able to do what we can see and we want to achieve, then you really feel like a failure altogether. And especially when it comes to your children, if you can't give them things that they want, then you start feeling like a failure as a father. And I don't want any man out there to feel like that. But of course, we have a specific lens that we look through, and we focus on Black men, because that's my folks.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Exactly. So I talked a lot. I hope I actually answered the question. I don't even.
No, you did. No, and you actually hit another one that I was going to ask you. As far as I was going to ask you, do you network with other communities out here? And it sounds like you do.
Oh yeah. So we reach out, and people reach out to us when they find us. Like I said, this group is called Cobb Moms Helping Cobb, and what they do is it was started by a group of moms, but they also help fathers as well. So the reason that she reached out is because she had seen me, and she knows that they get fathers that come to them, and she wanted to be able to provide them, additional resources. Oh my God, that would be able to help them out. And then any other father groups, especially shout out to Team Dope Dads down here in Atlanta. Shout out to I'm a Father First. We definitely work with a lot. Accept organization, as I said, good friend of mine, Marie Bigham, over in New Orleans. So any of those opportunities, we definitely take advantage. And, I know a lot through my programs I've been in, Facebook and things like that. We have connected with a lot of other Facebook group leaders. So we also work to do things together where we can, where it makes sense for the fathers, especially. You might have a specialty. You might do bird watching. I'll be like, all right, well, I'll bring some fathers out. We can go bird watching with you.
Right.
So we definitely work. That's one of the biggest things for me, is that I know that we are so much. As long as you're with the right people, you're stronger together. Now you get with some folks that ain't about nothing. They could drag you down. But for the most part, when we work together, we're much stronger, and that's really my take on it. So many people out here are working in either they're in silos where they just want to be by themselves, or they're in cliques where it's like, okay, these three guys, I rock with them and only with them. And it's none of that with me. I sometimes, and at some periods, I've had a core group of people, of course, who are closest to me, but I don't ever think like, oh, this is the only people I can fool with. Nah, we're definitely open to work with different organizations for sure.
That's what's up.
So I noticed on your website, Matt, that you had a gala. Was it sponsored by BET, or they were involved?
In part, it was sponsored in part by BET. That was when we initially started the foundation. It was that same year, so we wanted to have a coming out party of sorts to introduce us to the world. And it was a beautiful event. Reginald Lewis Museum and my hometown of Baltimore.
How
And
that
then,
pop off? How'd you get connected with BET on that?
oh, actually, how that worked is that I was someone, Tyle Hayes. I don't know if he's still at BET. I think he is, but he reached out to me, and on the strength of they were having BET and Procter and Gamble put together a brunch in Brooklyn, New York. Fathers and was it Fathers and Sons only? I think it was just for fathers and sons. Yeah, and so he wanted me to invite and bring up group members
Okay.
from Black fathers and have them come to the brunch. So that's really how we got connected. The brunch is beautiful. If you go to, I think it's probably still on Facebook or YouTube, you could probably find this BET brunch. BET and Procter and Gamble had this brunch. D Nice was there before he was the COVID king and had Club Quarantine. He was there. Hill Harper and and some other cats. It was a real good experience. And we actually got 2 vans and we took up several fathers and their sons up to Brooklyn, and then actually met Carl Lewis, who's from Brooklyn, and he's now an admin in the Facebook group. So I met him at the brunch. So it was a real great experience. And from there, I was just like, all right, now we kind of scratched y'all back a little bit. What y'all got for us?
All right.
So.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
When was that?
That was the brunch. God, I feel, dang, man, why you put me on the spot like that? I'm trying to remember.
Like this year or last year?
No. This was pre-COVID and everything,
Okay.
because
Okay.
we had the gala in September of 2019. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, the brunch was the same year, I believe, in June, right around Father's Day. It was right either that weekend or the weekend before Father's Day.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm still stuck on this number, 96,000. How long you had the Facebook group going?
And December 28th will mark 14 years.
14 years. Okay.
Yep.
So I've been on Facebook 2009 or 10 is when I got on there. So around that time. Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
December 28th, 2008. That's when we first kicked it off. And it's been something. It's been a real ride. I'm not gonna lie. There've been at least 3 times where I wanted to throw my hands up and say the hell with it. But thankfully, a guy, I want to shout out Mark Eccles, who was really the first admin with me and really helped me out. And he's always encouraged me to keep going and keep pushing. And I really thank the creator for him and his presence in my life to really keep me doing this thing. And now we have 21 people on our admin team, and they really keep the thing going.
Y'all post daily?
Oh, bruh, we get 200 submissions in the queue every day. Easy.
Nice.
Yeah. People reacting and responding. That's the thing I love about it. Now, I really want to see more outside of the group, like when we have activities and stuff like that. I want to see people coming out and doing things like that. But it's what it is. A lot of people are there to be there and really get that support online and things like that. So I don't knock it. Whatever your thing is, whatever you're getting out of it, that's on you, and whatever you want to put into it is on you.
So speaking of the activities, I noticed on your site also you have
put your glasses on, old man.
You had an event called the Great Day in the A. Was that this year?
It was supposed to have been, and what happened with that, it was supposed to be in May in Westside Park, and right before that week, myself, my wife, and our daughter all got COVID. So we had to postpone the event, and right now we're in the process of rescheduling it for October 29th.
Dude, I just went through it. It's for the second time I just went through it.
Yeah, I've had it twice myself.
That stuff ain't no joke, man. That shit, I never thought that I was going to die until I had COVID.
Oh, man.
That's some crazy stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm thankful. For me, both times it was never that severe. But the thing about it for me is that it activated my fibromyalgia, which I think, I'm not 100% sure because I hadn't been diagnosed previously, but I feel like I've had it for a while. and COVID hit, and my fibromyalgia was like party over here, and it just it was just like turn up, you know. And then I got COVID a second time, and fibromyalgia was just like, yeah, here we go again, let's go. So it's been something, but yeah, that COVID is no joke, and unfortunately, a lot of us get these lingering effects that may never ever leave us. So.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
Stuff that you didn't know he can deal with. Now you
but we are definitely working. I have to reserve pavilions tomorrow we're gonna do it in Alpharetta, which is technically not Atlanta, but it still starts with an A, so it's still gonna be a great day in the A. So we good either way. But that's gonna be October 29th, and really it's simply a celebration of Black fatherhood. We want people to come out with their kids. We're gonna have all kinds of activities for them to participate in, food, music, all of that good stuff, just for us to have that kind of camaraderie. But also what we're gonna do is take pictures and videos, because I'm all about media and us being able to present ourselves through various mediums and tell our own stories. You know, everybody always says a picture speaks 1,000 words. So we don't even have to stand up and say, oh, this is what we do or anything like that. You're gonna see the picture of me running around playing what is that shit called, cornhole, and all of that type of stuff. You're gonna see me doing that with my kids. So, and that's all, that's enough said right there. That's all you need to see. I ain't got to say a word to you, and but we also want to put together a documentary too, to really document the day and the effort, and just to really showcase and highlight Black fathers for who we truly are.
So, man, I'll ask you this, and this has to deal with the court system. Do you see, or have you helped, or has the community and your group helped dads that have had struggles in the court system with seeing their children? I won't say in a criminal process, but just as far as helping them see their children, what aspects they can, what avenues they can take to get to have more time with their kids.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that I love the most about the group, is that we have people who have experienced that, who have been very successful in either gaining joint or full custody. And all the time people come in there and they ask for advice, and people can give it to them just like that, because they've been through it. And then, you have some people, and this is another part of where we want to come in with funding. You have some people who have been through it, and they have knowledge that they want to share, and they want to start their own groups. So we want to be able to financially support them as well. And that's one thing I really love, when people get that knowledge, they learn from somewhere, somehow, either somebody, hips them to it, or they just go out on their own and get it, but they want to give back. And that's what I really appreciate. People are very eager. They don't want to just keep the knowledge to themselves and be like, I got mine, you get yours, like we tend to do oftentimes in other arenas. But as far as that goes, yeah, definitely. We've had a lot of men who have come in there and who have gotten and given advice as far as helping brothers with the court system. Also, I do what I can. People reach out to me, and I personally don't have experience with the court system other than going through my divorce, and with as far as child support. Like, I actually went down and started a case against my ex-wife, but they put me through so many hoops. I was like, it's not even worth it. So, which is crazy, because we know women would not have to go through half of the shit I was put through. So,
dude, if we go down to the courtroom, or if they go down, they don't even have to finish our name. Be like, Frank. Oh yeah, we got him. We got him. Yep, we got him. Exactly. Before you even fill out this paperwork, he gonna get served, baby. All this, but let us go do it.
Man, I had to get letters from the doctor, letters from the school, letters from church. I had to go through all of this stuff, and then it was still an ordeal, because every time they came back and said, "Oh, we can't find a server, we can't find it," and I was just like, after a while, I was like, you know what? This is more headache than help. So just let her be, whatever. But yeah, definitely a lot of brothers giving that advice. But when people come to me, I do the best I can based on what I'm able to find out. So like I said, I don't have so much firsthand experience, but I'll always reach out to somebody that I know either runs a father's rights organization or just runs a father organization in general, and they have knowledge, and then I'll share that with the brothers to help them and do whatever I can. It's 19-year-old young man right now who's really going through, and I'm working as much as I can with all the million and one other things I have going on to try to help him, because Georgia has this really crazy law. There's legitimation.
Mm-hmm.
And so what it says basically is if you're not married to the mom, then you have to prove that you're the father and you have rights and you are okay to be in this child's life and all of that stuff. Meanwhile, mom just pops the baby out. She's good to go. The father's got to go through all of this to say, yes, I'm in a good situation and I'm, I can be a decent dad and all that, which is insane. So he wasn't married to the mom and he was a minor. He was 17. So he couldn't even go through the legitimation process at the time. So I'm working with him currently to try to help him get rights to see his child. Because right now it's just going like, if the mom feels like it, then okay, yeah, you can come over. But it's pretty much seeming like it's just a game to her, and she's using the child, and she just wants what she wants to get out of it. So she plays him like that. So he really needs to go to court over this and get everything solidified. Like,
I'll say, man, because one of the biggest challenges that me and Jay have been having, and we just started this a few months ago, but I would like to get an attorney booked on. And both of us would like to get a police officer booked in. It's like they're scared to come in and talk about the issues.
That's wild. That's
and
wild.
I would love to find an attorney. Yeah, especially police officer.
Yeah,
I would love to find an attorney.
I'm gonna see what I can do. I know somebody. I have to check back. Somebody was telling me that I think they sent me an email and they were saying that they know. I don't know if it was a group of attorneys or one attorney, but someone who's willing to help fathers out with pro bono work, which is desperately needed. So I will find the information and then I'll see if I can get connected to the lawyer directly. I'll send them, I'll connect you.
I mean, if we can connect, like I said, I don't need support in the court. I just want to get on the show and just talk and ask some questions.
Exactly.
Right.
So that shouldn't
exactly
cost
because they haven't done so much lately, but creating content in different ways. We had a show for a year that we were doing on StreamYard, Foundation Conversations, and we've had various themes every month. It was a different theme, and the idea was that we wanted to show the balance between fathers, being fathers in the home, but then also going out into the world in their fields and doing the things that they do. And so people can see that, but also so people can learn from it. So we've had, educators, people on the front line, paramedics, social activists, and all those sorts of things. So of course, the important thing is that people are getting information, because a lot of times we suffer because of our ignorance, because we just don't know what we're supposed to do. And again, I'm gonna keep going back to the group, and that's one thing I love about the group, because people are so eager to help each other, and they'll give them that information. But oftentimes, like, if you're not in the group and you probably feel like you don't have anybody you can turn to, you're going through this alone, and you're getting frustrated on that note, then it's really hard to look inside yourself and say, okay, maybe I need to go talk to somebody. Maybe I need to go to the library and learn this information. So when we have those opportunities to put it out there, I'm totally with you. I completely see the benefit of us having these kinds of shows just to get the information out there. It's not to say, well, the court system is this or the court system is that. It's just to put it black and white. This is how it works. This is what you need to know. This is what you need to be prepared for. This is what you need to have with you, these papers. Maybe even this is how you need to dress. This is how you need to look. Brush your hair, wash your face. You know what I'm
saying? Right.
Exactly. It's about being informed. So
exactly.
That's about it,
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's what's up, though. So you have the event coming up. You said in Alpharetta.
Yes.
And do you ever do anything outside of Atlanta, like back in your hometown in Baltimore or anywhere else?
Yes, we're actually in September. We're planning that at the same time as we're planning this event in Alpharetta. We are having a launch event, because what we're doing, I mentioned the fund is going to be called the Derek U. Jones Fund. And that was the brother I mentioned. He passed away. Mm-hmm. We're naming the fund in his honor, and we're having an event in Baltimore City to officially announce and launch the fund that we'll be having. We're starting out with students who attend Morgan and Coppin State in Baltimore.
Okay.
And then as the fund expands and we get more money and all of that, excuse me, we will expand our reach to students attending HBCUs across the country. So that's going to be, I want to say September 10th in Baltimore. We just have to get everything solidified. But yeah, definitely. I always love Baltimore. I'm always going to continue to do work in Baltimore. And really, our efforts, like the emergency fund and the Derek Jones fund and all of that stuff, we want to have everything that we do serve fathers across the country, because in the Facebook group we got 96,000 people on 6 continents around the world. So at the very least, we have a nationwide reach. Eventually we're going to cross overseas. We want to do some things for sure where we have like an exchange program, because we have fathers all over the world, like I said. So we want people to really get a glimpse and an understanding of what it's like. So for a father in Ghana, we might take men over to Ghana or other parts of Africa so that we can connect with members of the group who live there, and we can, we can chop it up and we can see how they live. We can tell them how we live if they come over here, and so on and so forth. So we want to have those kinds of exchanges, but at the very, very minimum, we're going to serve fathers across this country for sure.
Yeah, that's what's up. It's like it's a brotherhood. What you
Yes,
call
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It certainly is.
no, I like that, man. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Love
Thank you.
it. My glasses on, so I can look at my questions here, see if I had any. I
Thank
missed out. I missed out. You told me about the funding you guys are doing. So with the group, with the foundation, are you plan on doing anything like mentorships or maybe any kind of job assistance or training or any kind of prep like that you can help young folks who come to you with, that need help getting started?
Right. So what we are really doing is working to create a directory, and that's why the networking and partnering is so important to me, because we'll never be able to be all things to all people.
Yeah.
So, and we don't want to spread ourselves thin. So what is ideal for me as I see it is that we are primarily a funding organization,
Okay.
and and a resource provider, but we'll also connect people. But we're not going to be able to do all of the real hands-on boots on the ground work, as people say.
Yeah.
But as we come into contact with people that run these types of organizations, we want to be able to have that directory and be able to send people to them and have a relationship established. So it's not just, oh, I know the name of this group, I'm going to send you over there. No, but really have a relationship with the person that runs it. So I can call them like, hey, I got this guy, he needs this. What can you do for him? That sort of thing. So yeah, we just can't, it's only so much we can do. And I'm the type, I want to do everything. I really do in my heart, but I just know that I will drive myself into the ground trying to do it all. So, we have to say, this is our breadbasket, or whatever the phrase is, you know what I'm saying? This is what our real focus is. And then we'll do whatever we can to extend it out to connect you with people that specialize in this. And then we also want to be funders, like I said, for if it's a Black-led organization that is serving Black men, then we want to be able to give them grants and, financial assistance in that nature to help them do what they do. But I've always said from the beginning, I really want us to be the grease. I don't want to recreate the wheel. I want to be the grease that helps, the wheels that are already out there. I want them to be able to roll down the track, because there's so many organizations already doing so much. And a lot of it is just that people don't always know about them. And then it's hard. Like, we're all fighting for crumbs, really, in terms of funding and all of that stuff. And that's another reason why I really want to get through to the guys in the group. I'm like, oh, it's 96,000 strong. We can financially support each other instead of having me going out here trying to compete with 25 other people trying to get this one grant to do something that's only going to last a few months, and that whole sort of thing. That's why I want us to finance us, and then we can then finance and send that money down and spread it out to other organizations that are struggling to even keep the lights on and things like that. So
if you're enjoying this podcast, don't forget to subscribe and like us on YouTube, and rate and follow us on your favorite podcast platform.
That's what's up.
Yeah, no, you're doing a hell of a job, man. I mean,
thank you. I appreciate it.
14 years strong with it, and 96,000 members in the group.
Yes, sir.
Across
And
continents.
We could have a lot more. I tell people all the time, we could have had 100,000 years ago, but like the way that we maintain it, like we have rules that you're gonna abide by, or you're not gonna be here. So it's our block game is pretty strong. Like if we if we would just for us, it's really about the quality and not the quantity. Like we could go back to 9,000 members, and I'd be okay if if those with 9,000 dedicated members who were doing the thing and all of that. But so the numbers are great. They look great to advertisers and sponsors and all of that sort of thing. But the most important thing to me is that it's quality. It's a place where people feel like they can come and they can be open and they can be free to talk about their situations without a whole lot of negative judgment and things of that nature. So, yeah.
So give me the name of the Facebook groups again, Matt.
So our private group, the main group that's 96,000 strong, is Black Fathers. That's our main one. You'll know it when you see it. And then the other, and even within Black Fathers, when you become a member of Black Fathers, we have subgroups in there. So we have a Black Fathers of Georgia for those who live in the state or have children in the state or whatever. We have a resource center where we want to, it's almost like a classified section, to post job opportunities, trainings, things like that. And then we also have what I call the Black Cave, which is our space really where it's like for stuff, because in Black Fathers, we really work to keep it fatherhood specific and related. So the Black Cave is an opportunity, like if your post didn't get approved in the main group, and you really want to talk about this, then go put it in the Black Cave. It's much more lax in terms of what we allow to go in there and things like that. Mm-hmm. So we have that. The other group that you mentioned at the beginning is Black Fathers and Company. And that's our open group that I really encourage everybody to join. And it's all about celebrating and honoring, Black fathers.
Okay. And then, so besides that, you have a website?
Yes, blackfathersfoundation.org. Please, everybody go there, sign up for our email list. We'll be getting some more emails out, especially as we get things nailed down in terms of the 2 upcoming events that I mentioned. I want people to be able to be on our list and get the notifications and all that emails. The emails.
I didn't realize I was on it. I don't get on Facebook as much as I need to, but I'm on there. I'm in there.
Okay. That's why I've been telling your ass to get on Facebook and look at these.
Man, you know what? The real thing is, I'm a Black father. I'll be with my daughter. My daughter's in the competitive soccer, and she keep this Black daddy busy. So,
I hear you. And this is what I'm gonna tell you though. Get on there, and while you being busy, snap a photo and upload it and put it in Black Fathers. There you go.
that man. I love it.
Yeah,
I love that.
For real.
We're gonna definitely promote it for you, bro.
I appreciate it. And the page for the foundation, we have the Black Fathers Foundation, the page on Facebook, and I already mentioned the website, blackfathersfoundation.org.
Okay. All right. We sure appreciate it, man. I can't thank you again enough for coming on the show, man.
Yeah.
It's a great conversation.
Thank you all as well.
Yeah.
It's something, because every time I get on these things, especially when I deal with people who are not in the Eastern time zone, I'm like, I'm an old man. I'm going to be sitting on here yawning and falling asleep. But once I get on, it's like, it's really, I tell people, it's like a flip a switch. Like I'm ready to perform. I probably should have been in entertainment or something, because I can definitely turn it on.
Yeah, I feel you. I told
y'all, humility is overrated, brother. I'm a highlight and toot my horn all day long.
Toot your horn out.
Got no shame.
Toot. Beat.
Exactly.
Pat my own back, do everything. Say, you go, boy.
Yes, sir. I did that. I sure did.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Big Frank, you got any last words you want to close us out with before we?
Yeah, man. And y'all forgive me today, man, because and this may be a minute, Jay, but Matt, you hit on something just now earlier. You hit on your homeboy that died on 7/7. Tomorrow, my son would be dead 5 years. I'll never forget that call. I'll never forget the last time I talked to him. I'll never forget the times that we spent together. I'll never forget. Um, I'll never forget him. You know, this morning, headed into work, I broke down. It was the first time in a long time that I did. Um, the pain never goes away. The crying may stop every once in a while, but the pain never goes away. The pain that you had of losing a child. And this is why this means so much to us. I don't ever want anyone to go. I don't even want my worst enemy. I don't even want the man who did it to my son to go through what I'm going through. Or anybody, any dad or any mom. So if you can do anything to change the narrative of your child, of losing your child, do that. Love your child. That's all I got.
Man, I definitely have nothing but respect for you for that, for being that transparent. I understand as a man, you know, I've never been in your situation, and I won't pretend that I have and completely understand, but just even, you know, just for us as men, it takes a whole lot for us to be that transparent and vulnerable. And, you know, I respect you and appreciate you for it. It takes a lot. And I think it really takes us a long way when we're able to do that. And it helps us out mentally, physically, and all of that when we can let it out and not hold these things in. Too often, we as men, you know, we grow up and we're told boys don't cry and all of these sorts of things. And we hold these things in. We hold these things in for fear. We don't want to be shamed and, you know, called whatever, a punk and this and that. So we hold on to so much. So it really means a lot to me, you know, that you've expressed that. And I want all of us as men to really feel comfortable being able to do that without fear of people judging us and thinking that we're less than just because we are deeply in touch with our emotions. And really what it does is just shows how dedicated we really are to our children. Like, we love our children just the same as everybody else as Black men. It doesn't matter what anybody says about us or anything. We know the truth. So a lot of love to you, brother. Love and light, man. And you know, I don't want to say too much, and I really don't like giving, you know, sometimes people say things just because they sound good and all of that. So I don't want to give these hollow types of things, but it means a lot to me that you did that, you expressed that. And I just have nothing but, you know, compassion. And I hope that, you know, if somebody there with you now, like,
No, it's just me. But I will say I'm gonna go see my baby girl because I actually drop her off in practice right before my podcast.
Okay.
But I'll tell anyone. I don't care if you judge me, and I don't care if you look back. As long as a seed is planted in your mind to say hey, yeah, he looked bad, but let me go see my baby, or let me go spend that time with my kid. So
yeah, let me just echo what Matt said. You don't look bad, first of all, bro. A lot of times we are conditioned to think that's a sign of weakness when we show emotion, when we, you know, when we cry. We've been conditioned to think that's a sign of weakness, but it's just the opposite.
Exactly.
It shows how strong you are, that you can release and you can express yourself in that manner and not be afraid of whatever or whoever, because despite what people say, we're not emotional, we're this, we're that. We all have emotions. We may express them differently, but we are emotional. Things touch us, and it's okay to express yourself. It is perfectly fine, and I don't care where you are, who you with, be you, express yourself. Don't be afraid of it. So I don't care who says what.
Exactly.
Ain't no apologies for being real.
Yeah. And being a human being, it just makes you
Exactly.
human. That's all.
right.
Exactly. It's not about putting on any fronts. It's being like you said, a human being. And
Yeah,
bro, I love you to death. You my
man,
brother.
that's my brother, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Brother
got
right
you.
there.
I got
Right back at you, man.
you. Yeah.
I love it, man. I definitely love it. Like I tell people the same thing. I'm glad you mentioned that because to me, like I go through. I deal with depression, anxiety. I've attempted to take my life before, and my kids know very much about my struggles, and a lot of people think that they have to. A lot of men think that they have to hide these things from their children, but I always say it definitely takes more strength to be vulnerable and transparent, especially in front of your kids, than it does to hide it,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
definitely. And it makes a huge difference to them. Like my kids connect with me much better because they know I'm a human being. I can be transparent. I can be vulnerable, and I can be down and I can bounce back and get back up. That's a life lesson,
And you
Yeah,
still daddy. You still
you
Exactly.
still that.
All
Yeah, you
day,
still
still
there.
day,
yeah.
all day.
So
Mhm.
yeah,
Still the
You're
same.
still their
Yup.
hero. You're
yeah.
still their hero.
Right. You're the
Absolutely.
strongest man they know.
Absolutely.
All that good stuff. You're the strongest man
Yep.
they know. You're the hero. But daddy's also a real human and has
Mhm.
real emotions too. So it's okay.
Yeah,
Exactly.
But man, um, I don't know what else to say.
Hmm.
But
But
Big Frank,
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll end it on that note.
Right. The only thing I would say is make sure you jump in the group because I'm sure you already know, but you're definitely not alone in that. And
Yeah,
again, that's another
yeah.
thing. I keep going back. That's another thing I like about the group. I love about the group is that, there's so many fathers who have been in different scenarios and people can relate. And it always helps. I don't care what you're going through. It helps just to know that you're not the only one going through it. You know what I mean? And people can give you genuine support. A lot of times people who haven't been through it, just like I said, I've attempted to take my life, and people who don't know about depression, they don't deal with it. They've never tried to kill themselves. They say things that sound good and they think it's being helpful, but it doesn't always help. But a lot of times when you have directly gone through that yourself, you have a better understanding and a
Yeah,
better way with your words that really help somebody versus just saying something because it sounds nice.
right, right.
yeah, yeah,
Facts.
we're gonna definitely get in the group though. We're gonna
Yeah,
make
absolutely.
sure of that, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, again,
And
Magic.
hopefully we can help people when we're in that
Yeah,
group.
no doubt about it. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
what I was gonna ask you, Matt?
Hmm.
So when we release, so today is Thursday. This will probably go out next week. Um, and with your permission, I'd like to go ahead. I would like to post a little snippet on your in your group to say,
Hmm.
use on this podcast, whatever it's going to air, whatever. If that's cool with you. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep,
Okay.
no doubt about it.
All right.
Definitely.
I don't want to
Appreciate you, man.
intrude and just promote my
Sure.
stuff, but
Nah, yeah, I got you. And
Look
what I
at us.
what I tell people, and I'm glad you asked. I tell people because we do have one of the rules is that there's no solicitation in terms of coming in and saying, hey, join my group or go subscribe to my YouTube and things like that. So
right.
all you got to do when you make the post, just say, and I'll tell the admin members and all that to look out for it, but just say, you talk to me, you got permission from me. But people will know when they know that I'm a guest on it, then they already know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to
Yeah.
go.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll
Because
let
I
you know
promote my stuff all day
before
long.
I
I'm like,
do it.
look,
I'll let you know
I
ahead of time.
founded this joint. I'm gonna say whatever I
No,
want.
that's right. No,
I
that's
made
right.
this, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that, Big Frank
Hey, Lil J,
and Mr.
Big
Matt,
Matt.
appreciate you, man. Kings move on, y'all.
Yeah.
Fellas, yes, a lot of love. Really appreciate this opportunity.
If you enjoyed that episode, don't forget to subscribe and like us on our YouTube channel and rate and follow us on your favorite podcast platform.